Okay, so now come back to the scene and we're going to add a little bit more to these top corners. On the left, we're going to have a score, and on the right, we're going to have the number of lives that we've got. So on the canvas, right-click UI text. Then I want you to click on the transform, Shift and Alt, and position into the top left corner. Okay, I'm just going to make the box a little bit bigger, just by eye. Now, while the text is selected, I'm going to name the text as score text. The other text I'm going to name as object name. And the image in the center, I will call this central target, just so that I know what everything is. So select the score text, and what we're going to do is increase the font size by dragging here. Okay, and I'm just going to write the word score, and I'm going to change the font to be bold and the type to be Source Sans. Okay, I'll change the color to be a yellow. Okay, now the other thing I want to do is come down to the bottom and add a component and type in the word shadow. There we go. Now the shadow wants to be a bit stronger, so 3 and -3. Okay, so now that will make the text bounce off the screen a bit more. I just need to move it where I want it, which is about there. That'll look okay. Okay, now we need to pay attention to where it is. It's -46 from the top and 66 from the left-hand side. Now the reason that's important is because I want you to right-click and duplicate it. And this will be the lives text. Then I want you to click here and hold Shift and Alt and position that to the top right. Then I want you to come -66 on the X-axis and change the text to say lives. In fact, uppercase. There we go. Okay, now the thing that we need to do inside this is right-click, and we're going to create a child text item inside. And this will be the number of hits. It will be the hit count for the shots that we've taken, well, for the ducks that we've shot. So I'll just move you out. Obviously, we need to increase the size. There we go. And the font size. Now this will be a number, so if we write 1,000 in, then we know that we're going to have plenty of room. So let's just increase this to a size that kind of matches the score. Make that bold also. Change it to be the same font. Center it vertically. And get it looking how we want it to look. There we go. And change the text to be white. Okay, now I'm also going to add a shadow to this one and increase the distance effect to make it stand out more. There we go. Now, if you don't like the font, you can obviously change that. It's completely up to you guys. And we're going to do the same on the other side. But what I want to do is, on the hit count, I want you to come across to the text item and then copy the component. Then move across to the lives text and paste in, create a new child UI text object. Then I want you to click the cog and paste the component values. There we go. So now all we have to do is change the size and move it across to the side. Now, on the game, you only have 2 lives, so there's no need for it to be as big. That is fine. Okay, so now we have a score, which we will dynamically change. We have the lives, which will dynamically change. We have a target. The gun is on the camera. We have a button to press. The only thing left is to show the amount of shots that we have remaining. Now, On the canvas, I want you to right click and create a UI image. Then anchor it to the top left, Shift and Alt, and click top left. Now let's leave it there for a second and come to the source image. Click the dot here. This is going to be the shotgun shell. So double click the shotgun shell. Then click Set Native Size. Okay. Now we're going to zoom in and position it where we want it, which is underneath the score. But it's too big, so I'm going to shrink it down. Okay, I don't want it to be much thinner, but I don't want it to be as tall. So let's alter the height and shrink that down to make it look more like the shotgun shell that I have in my head. Still too big. Bring it down a bit more. There we go. Okay, so if I just position that under the S where I want it, what I'm going to do is call this shell 1 and then right click and duplicate, and then call this one a shell 2, and then we need to change the position. So this is 67, let's add 30 to it, so let's go to 97. Yep, that sits quite, in fact 90, yeah, that sits better. And then let's just duplicate it again, and you guessed it, this is shell 3. So let's add 113. Yep, there we go. So now we have 3 shells evenly spaced in the top left. Now what's going to happen in the gameplay is you'll start the game with 2 lives and 0 on the score. The phone will pick up the bird and the AR experience will kick in. You will then shoot at the bird, and we're going to use something called a raycast to fire a laser from the camera to the target, and if the bird is hit, then we'll score a point. If we don't hit the bird, then we'll fire the cartridges, and if we miss 3 times, we lose a life. If we miss twice and then hit the bird on the 3rd cartridge, then that will regenerate the cartridges back to 3. So that's the game logic that I wanted to put in. Now there's one guy missing. Now if I go onto the canvas and create a UI image, anchor this to the bottom right and then move it off the canvas scene, this is where the dog is going to appear. Now I'll just make him a bit bigger, not that big because it's not the greatest drawing I've ever done. But what's going to happen is if you miss 3 times, you don't only lose a life, the dog is going to slide in over the button and laugh at us with the sound effects and then slide off again before we can continue to shoot. I'm also going to put a delay in so that the sound effect on the shotgun, while it's reloading, will actually prevent the user from firing a second shot until the sound effect has completed, and it will give us a better feel and better gameplay simulation. Okay, so let's run the game and see how this looks now as it all starts to come together cosmetically. Okay, I think this is going to work out fantastic, guys. I'm really liking the look of this already. Save the scene and I'll see you in the next video.